The second thing that I would tell you is we spent a lot of time when we first got into this with our research organization on what we call cloud scale economics, and really taking a look at the effect of scale and what it would cost to deliver these things. The reason we think cloud is real is because the economics are compelling. So we've gone through utility computing, we've gone through grid, we've gone through lots of things that are interesting computer science, but they've never really taken off. When you combine standardization, virtualization, automation, self-service, and scaling, when you put those things together, we call it cloud economics, it really drives a much lower price point for delivering compute. And what this says basically is at the bottom is service provider cloud. So that's like the scale of cost at which an Amazon or a Google can deliver services, which is a very low level cost. Up at the top is your traditional IT infrastructure, using best practices as you scale, the type of cost you can achieve. The middle section is if you're a single enterprise based upon the number of servers that you're managing in your environment, how you can achieve costs. And what you see there is there's a couple of knees in the curve, and we feel they're pretty significant. And the first one that's up there, you're starting to get close to service provider costs. You'll never get all the way there because the clouds they operate are very specialized clouds, typically driving a single type of workload, where the typical workload you drive in your organization has multiple different characteristics, and so therefore it's much more difficult for you to achieve their scale and economy. But because of that knee in the curve, we've made two things. Number one, we started talking about private clouds because we think most large organizations, you've got 2,000 or more servers that you could put into a cloud environment, you're going to build a private cloud because you can get your economics pretty close to what you could buy for, and you can have that behind your firewall, and you won't incur some of the communications costs associated with running a public cloud. But if you're to the left of that curve, small businesses, small institutions, the economics are so compelling, you're probably going to buy from the public cloud. Your applications as you go into the future. And as applications become available, we see a rapid consumption of those services by smaller businesses and smaller institutions. So that's provided you to think about it, depending upon the size of your organization and how you can go. If you're big enough, you can start thinking about delivering on a private cloud. But if you're not, it's really time to start studying some of the publicly available applications.